This is an image by Robin Claire Fox. Robin is a photographer based in Canada, in Ontario. Hello everyone, my name is Agnes and I love to welcome you to our next English Live here on Street Macadam with the amazing Robin Claire Fox. And I printed a lot of captures again. We will talk about her amazing approach to photography and probably let me show one of her images and to explain her approach to photography. It's this one. And Robin is a kind of contemporary photographer. She captures her subjects with a warm embrace of nostalgia, transporting her views to times that are long past, but yet deeply familiar to us. So she called herself a kind of lifestyle and commercial photographer, probably. And she definitely talks about herself that inspired by my desire to preserve fleeting moments in time, influenced by cinematography and street photography of the past times. Probably I show a different image. This one is amazing to show the nostalgia in Robin's photography. And also, what is the most wonderful thing? She's always talking about a point of she loves in her images, that she's not just taking images what she sees, but she also is taking images because she feels them. And let me also say welcome to the Robin Claire Fox family. Actually, this is something really interesting. I would love to ask Robin a lot about, because she's shooting with her family, with her children, with her husband, with herself. And she says also about her images, it's a collection of moments turns into memories. So probably I'll show you the wonderful Robin Claire Fox here. And because I have so many questions and I love to present all the images, I'm going at once now to call for Robin to Canada, to Ontario. Probably I also show some images which Robin also not just do in color, but also in black and white. Robin!
Hi, sorry.
Robin! Hello! A big warm hello to Canada.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. And Robin, actually, I'm a big fan since the beginnings. I follow you a long time, I think, because I loved uh, your cinematic approach to your photography, and also your just interesting package of photography, family, stage photography, but also, I don't know, cinematic approach to it. So can you tell us, how did you become a photographer?
Thank you for your kind words. I'm so happy to be here. Um, yeah, so it started from a place of necessity, to be
Yeah,
honest. We realized I found out we were expecting our fourth child, and I kind of realized that I hadn't done a very good job documenting our family as it was growing, and everything felt like it was fleeting. And I thought, it would be great to do a much better job of that. And that kind of coincided with a desire to make a transition with my career.
yeah,
I was working in healthcare, and the job and the hours weren't conducive to having a young family. And so my initial goal was to kind of learn how to do photography to a point where I could generate just a little bit of income, do family portraits.
yeah.
And then not long after doing that, I realized the creative potential for photography. And so it became all consuming. So I started to try to structure my frames more deliberately and really be intentional about studying light and composition and color. And so that's kind of how it all came about. And it's just, yeah, I kind of have never looked back. I enjoy
Yeah,
it so much and
yeah.
love that there's always something new to learn. And that's kind of how it came to
It's kind
be.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
So how comes I will show during the live, I will show a lot of images, because I honestly printed so much that actually I can't stop to show them to the viewers because they're amazing.
Thank you.
And you sent it also some images to me. So Can you tell? First of all, I'm so sorry. I don't know all the names of your amazing kids, also
Oh,
your husband.
yeah,
So probably if you tell the names when we talk about the life. So
sure,
this is one of the images you sent me, and can you tell something about it?
sure.
Yeah,
That's our oldest child. That's Nora, our daughter. She's 13.
yeah,
And actually, she doesn't like having her photograph taken at all. So I always have to up the ante when I'm hoping to capture her in the frame. But generally speaking, a lot of what motivates me to capture these photographs are I'm a very much location first photographer.
yeah,
And so we will be somewhere and it really intrigues me or interests me. And so that was what motivated this photograph. We had stopped in at the gas station and I went inside to pay and I was really taken with all the colors. And so that was the initial impetus for this photograph. And then just kind of trying to capture those everyday mundane moments in a way that feels somewhat intriguing, somewhat different, and somewhat vibrant is that's how that photograph kind of came to be.
yeah. So you first of all, actually, in your photography, you're looking for places, and then you just ask your family, okay, I've got it. Please come and we shoot.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
pretty much. That's pretty much how it works. And like I said, so this was all born of wanting to document our family. And so
yeah,
when I find places that we frequent or that we just happen to come across, then that makes it that much more special because then that is now a permanent memory that we can look back on and
yeah.
say, yeah, we visited this place or we did this activity together. And so yeah,
I found another one from the supermarket.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing. This is the your youngest daughter,
That's our
actually.
littlest guy. That's
Yeah,
Edwin. He is 6. And so this is another little convenience store that's close to our home. And so I think a lot of the time as well, I intertwine kind of memories of my
yeah,
childhood with activities that we do with our children in the present. And so a lot of the time, what I'm also kind of trying to convey, I suppose, with my work is that kind of ambiguity with respect to time. So a bit of temporal ambiguity and kind of weaving together different decades, different eras,
yeah,
and creating kind of a layered approach
yeah.
for the viewer so that there's hopefully some intrigue and some level of nostalgia within the photograph as
This
well.
is I can deeply feel in this, especially also this one and your cinematic approach, because this also could be out of a movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just this. I don't know. I was thinking during the day. What reminds me, now probably we can say Wes Anderson style, a bit of Wes Anderson, but also Tarantino. It's really who inspires you?
That's so kind.
Yeah,
That's way too kind of a comparison. But so first and foremost, I am very much inspired by street photography. As a matter of fact, that would be the genre of photography that I am most compelled
yeah,
by and
yeah.
interested in. I'm definitely not doing street photography, but what I love about street photography is that authenticity, the energy, the uniqueness, and I love the idea of street photography being this one singular moment where everything lines up to get this captivating photograph, and just that moment will never be repeated. And so those are a lot of the things that I'm trying to encompass in my work. And then in addition, very much inspired by film. So film, I really love the idea of a narrative.
Yeah.
I like to try and incorporate a narrative in each frame. And then just everything with film is so precise and intricate. So the lighting, the colors, the composition. And so definitely trying to incorporate some street concepts and some film concepts within my work when I am capturing photographs.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've got one series which I really adore. This
Thank you.
is the sports series, actually.
Okay.
It's like on the
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's I got also this is the court
Yeah.
series, actually. And your incredible approach also to black and white. So you're not just shooting in color, you are shooting also in black and white. When did you decide to go into black and
Yeah.
white?
I don't know. I like it all. That's the problem. I like it all and I want to learn it all and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I love to just try things. So if something catches my eye, then I just give it a try. It doesn't matter what the light is, doesn't matter what the colors are, it doesn't matter. None of that matters to me. I just want to give it a try to really expand my learning and expand what it is that I'm doing. So I do have a very big interest in things that feel somewhat vintage or
Yeah.
other from another era. And so black and white is immediately transportive. And so that's what I really appreciate about that. And I also love black and white for the fact that it can really help to heighten that emotional or emotive quality in the frame. And so that's the reason why I'm drawn to black and white, but I also love vibrant color too. So it's just, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just kind of go wherever the photo leads me, wherever the location takes me, and just kind of embrace it.
I want to show because I looked and I saw a lot of amazing details and techniques in your images. You can see also here the mirror, like the mirroring, and I realized you got a lot of these aspects also like um, here when you see on the table. There's also the kind of mirroring. Is it something which is important for you when you see or go out or ask your children or ask yourself to do an image? Is it something you are looking for? The lights, the composition, the room, what happens there?
Yes. So I'm self-taught, and so
Yeah,
a large part of what how I've learned has been by studying the work of others. And so when I study the work of others, I look at the frames that really draw me in, and I think, what is it that's drawing me in? For me, I love photographs that have a lot of information. I like to really move around the frame, and with every turn that my eye goes around the frame, I love it when you kind of find a new piece of information that could be symbolic, or it could be, it's just such a layered approach that creates so much interest. And so when I'm structuring my frames, I always like to have a lot of information, and I love to incorporate things like reflection, because it's just that somewhat unexpected element that kind of makes someone really sit up and pay attention, or it just adds that much more depth to the narrative, to the
yeah,
visual experience.
yeah.
So yeah, so I love reflection. Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Thank
Robin, also I've got, this is one of, actually I love it so much.
you. Oh,
Uh, you also have an amazing dog.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
no, this I really love because I wanted to feature it on Street Me Up, but I think I featured this one. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, I will talk about this, but this was also, I was like, what? The dog is amazing.
Thank you.
So it's also part of the family. Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's actually not our dog. That's
No.
no, it's, we love him like he's our dog.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that
I've
is,
got,
yeah, friends of ours, we look after him. He's actually staying with us right now,
yeah,
but we look after him from time to time. And so he's a wonderful subject. He seems to really enjoy being in the photograph as well. And like I said, we love him like he's our own. So he's wonderful to incorporate in there, and adds that little bit of kind of whimsy, which I really like.
yeah.
So yeah, so he's great.
It's
Yeah.
it's so cool. But to an image like this, I wanted to ask you, how did you arrange it? You know your son is here, you know you have the mirror. What time, how long did you spend to get this image?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so with animals and with our little guy, I had to move pretty quick. They
yeah,
don't they want to stay in one place for too long. I definitely knew that I wanted to incorporate our son and the reflection in the mirror. And then I just kind of lured the dog to the side of the car as well with some cheese. He loves cheese. So that was pretty much it. And I had honestly probably 30 seconds to capture it. And it was very lucky that I was able to, because
yeah.
thing moves really fast. Pardon me. So
No.
yeah, I typically speaking, especially with the younger children, I have an
Yeah,
idea as to what it is I would like to do before we set out, because otherwise, you have to keep things moving quickly and as efficient as possible so that we can get done what we want to, and then we just go and have some fun.
so it's, yeah, so you're going out having fun knowing you will shoot. And how, actually, because you have, which I most of all actually love, is the expression of your children, which always are not laughing, actually. They are looking nostalgic by themselves. Sometimes they are looking like, okay, I want to kill you now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is probably also the mystery of the magic in your images, because it's so, yeah, this is the strange uh, aspect in it. How did you,
Yeah.
how did you, what do you say to them?
Um, Generally speaking, I'll direct them to a spot where
Yeah,
I'm hoping that they will be within the frame. And other than that, I don't direct them with respect to their expression or necessarily even how they're moving in the frame. It's just I get them in a spot, and then we just kind of see how it plays out. So the children in the back there, one is one of our daughters, and another one is our niece. This was on our annual, we go away to a
yeah.
cottage on holiday, and so that's what we were doing. And so I was just kind of trying a few things in the water, and then they joined the frame, and it was really fortuitous and wonderful. So a lot of that wasn't directed. It's just kind of life is happening as I have my camera out, and it's those moments that I really appreciate, when things just kind of happen, and it makes things feel that much more authentic.
Yeah.
And so
So I love the moment that you also let things happen, because this looks like, yeah, it's kind of staged, but it's candid and it's universal, and the expression on the faces, it's amazing. Actually, which camera do you use, Robin?
Yep, I use
Yeah,
a Canon
yeah,
5D
yeah.
Mark IV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you shoot with flash? Because people
No,
asked a lot, or in our times, but I know your nostalgic approach probably is more without flash.
yeah, so you know what? I don't actually. I do use a combination of things, but for the most part, I like to work with whatever ambient light I've got because I feel for me that it is that much more authentic
Yeah,
and kind of representative of that moment and of that atmosphere. So
yeah.
I do incorporate some off-camera flash on occasion, but not
Not
overly often.
really. We have a question from Emundoyo. I'm sorry, I'm very bad in pronouncing names. I hope I did it right. What's the um, monetization strategy for this line of work?
So I don't. So just how do I hope to
What
make
is the
money?
main? Yeah, probably. I don't know, Edmondo, but probably like in this, what is your strategy, or what is behind your photography? Is it for commercial? Is it for, yeah,
Sure.
I think,
Yeah, so I have a number of different
yeah,
avenues in which I use photography to generate income. So I do some lifestyle work, so photographing families and that type of thing. I do commercial work. I work with various brands for doing commercial photography. None of those things are I share on my Instagram. I also do some instruction, and I generally instruct based on my personal work. And then for this, I've started to do some exhibiting and some
yeah,
selling of print with respect to my personal work. So there is a varied approach to monetizing my photography practice.
yeah.
So that's
This is cool because at the end, some of us wants to live out of photography. So not always as the candid street shoots are able to give us this kind of amount we need. So it's totally fine. And if I would have a diner, actually, I would definitely go for Robin.
oh
This was my first thought. And yeah, you also got not just on public places photography, but also in your, I think it's your house, I'm not sure.
yes,
And
that's
this is also, yeah, really cool arrangement. What was there? Does she playing really guitar, your daughter?
she's learned, so that's
Yeah,
ukulele. Has actually learned the ukulele, so she does play. And for this particular photograph, I did actually use some off-camera flash. So that's a good example there, where I was just motivating the light a little bit with the off-camera flash. But yeah, so was just a corner in our home that I just thought, why not? It was the winter time, and I find it harder during the winter time. I'm not a very good Canadian. I don't like the cold, so
no, in
yeah,
Canada, yeah, until,
yeah. So, I set up a spot in our home just to do. I was feeling like I wanted to do something, so we did a little quick set in the house. So, yeah,
super. This is the kind of nostalgia which I can say you're talking about, because it's got everything. It's retro, but it's modern. And also like the faces of your children are so yeah, not just commercial, they are so interesting also, that it's incredible to do their work with them. Our at the first, when you started just to say, okay, let's go shooting together, let's I do some family things, did they say, yeah, mom, let's do, or did they say, oh no, mom, it's what is your idea behind this, it's probably too much private, or
yeah.
how did they react?
They so they are compensated for their time in
Yeah,
front of the camera. So
yeah,
we depending on what their interest is or etc. So sometimes it's monetary, sometimes it's the experience of wherever we happen to be. Then we will do something there, but I'm fortunate that we have four children because I can kind of cycle through them. So there's always someone that's kind of willing to be in front of the camera, which is amazing. But yeah, their expressions are very authentic. There is sometimes a little bit of hostility with respect to being in front of the camera, especially if I am a little bit ambivalent about what it is that I'm trying to capture. And so, yeah, that could be some of the hostility. But by and large, they are really good sports about it. And like I said, I try to keep things as efficient as possible so that I don't take up too much of their time. Although they will tell you there are times where it takes a little longer than we had hoped. But I'm very fortunate.
yeah,
They're very
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
So IG is just a window to present your work style and pure local commercials into your commercial. Yeah, it is actually. We have got all of us. I have to say, also personally, it's just our, yeah, it's kind of window. Where else should we show and present our work when not here? So this is also something which probably Instagram helps us just to let more people see our work. And this is how I find also Claire, and this is how we find our work present there. I have no idea where else I can present like images which are, this is amazing, Claire, I
Oh,
have to say.
thank you.
This is the ball, the movement at the children. Is it in front of a house or?
That is actually at their school where they go to school, their elementary school. And that was another really lucky one. I mean, I don't the ball just it all happened in a split second and I was
Yeah,
lucky to capture it. Because as you can imagine, when you introduce any kind of sports equipment or balls into a scene where there are children, it's chaos.
yeah.
And so it worked out and I was very grateful for that there, yeah.
Robert, which I think when I went through all your hub, and it's amazing, and I realized that your style changed a lot. And this is something which I honestly say it's documentary photography through and through. It's like a diary, because you started with images from your babies, which were really small. I may show them because they are also amazing. So you started like portraits of your
Yeah,
kids,
yes,
incredible.
thank
And you also started here showing your yeah, your pregnancy with your children.
you.
You
Yeah.
showed your amazing husband and you were in love, and
Thank
also the black and white ones, and also some baby images.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, yeah, yeah, it's far away, I know,
It
but
is.
this
It feels
is also, you can see how your photography style definitely changed, and this is something which I really adore. For me, it's really documenting photography with kind of lifestyle sentimental, because you see all your family from the beginning
yes.
till the
Yeah,
end.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of cringe when I see the
yeah,
earlier photographs. They're wonderful because they're those, like I said, it's
yeah,
documenting memories and growth,
yeah,
but it is quite different looking at those as compared to looking at more recent work.
yeah,
But as, that's where I started. When I first started, my big thing was I would put the children anywhere close to a window and just use the window light to photograph them, and that was satisfying to me. And then it just grew and grew to where I was being much more intentional within the frame. And so, yeah, that's
that's
interesting. It's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, this is amazing, actually. In this image, I saw it. I was like, whoa, how did you deal with the pigeons?
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know what happened, because I know if he's rolling, I can imagine. Yeah,
Sorry, I just see a note that I'm
yeah,
speaking so fast.
yeah. Oh, stay. Hello, stay.
Um,
Big hugs. Yeah, we tried to speak a little bit slower.
I
Yeah,
apologize. So with respect to the pigeons, they are completely
yeah,
authentic. That
yeah,
is that was photographed at our city hall. And so when we go, we bring just all sorts of birdseed and bread, and they all come. And so we just let them get set up, and then the kids just kind of mow through them, and then all the movement happens, and it's really wonderful.
yeah.
So they're not, it's not AI. I don't use AI in my work or anything like that. They were authentic to
They
the
were
scene.
there and authentic. Yeah, this is why actually you would be one of the persons which I never ask that you are using AI, because I know how important it is for you to use everything um, nostalgic, to use all these aspects that it's probably sometimes staged, but anyway, the moment happened and it's candid, and you look for retro aspects also. You've got the I love them, the Canadian
Thank you.
stations. We don't have so much anymore in Europe, I have to say. So where is it?
Again, these are very close
Yeah,
to our, yeah, it's interesting once you start to look for locations, how many things you can see that are close to where you live. So that's a couple of blocks from our
yeah,
home. And yeah, same thing with the Canadian flags. Until I started photography, I'd never noticed all the Canadian flags around, and incorporating them into the frame is important to me in terms of being Canadian. And then it also goes that much further with respect to the storytelling, sense of place, and again, layering the frame with elements that are meaningful um, and important to us as a family.
yeah.
Again, documenting our.
This is amazing. And also, oh, I wanted to show, this are your kids right now, actually.
Yes. Yeah, so every Mother's Day they
Yeah,
come to expect me to take a photo of all four of them. And so that was from I think it might have been last Mother's Day. So yeah, yeah. So they come to expect that, and then
yeah,
they so it's nice. Just every year it's nice to have a photo of all four of them together every
yeah.
year.
This is amazing. Also, which I found out is, which I really love, is probably you've got a wonderful book,
Hmm.
actually, and you can look when you go to Robin's homepage. There's a link on the Instagram profile, and you can see how you combine images. I wanted to show one out of your book, one page, and also, which is really, really amazing, you also got the black and white images, which are incredible.
Thank you.
So please take a look on Robin's. Yeah, this is the Mother's Day. We've
Yeah.
got it. Please take a look on Robin's page to see the book because really it's so full of love. And really, for me, you are a hero showing your family because I realized not everyone is able to show the family.
Mhm.
Probably some are bold, or you know what I mean, or don't want to be in the images, but you found something which is amazing to combine creativity, your family, and also the aspect of documentations through the times, because this is what I so realized walking through all your hub from the beginnings.
Thank you.
So, what is your next project, Robin?
My goodness, I think I'm just going to continue
Yeah,
on with what I'm doing. Like I mentioned, there's still so much that I need to learn to
yeah,
improve on what I'm doing. So I think that so long as the children and my husband are happy being in front of my camera, then we'll just continue on. And yeah, yeah, that was a recent one from, again, I guess we spend a lot of time at gas stations.
yeah.
That's another gas
But it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool places actually. You when you are looking for places, it's gas stations. It's probably inside of a diner. It's somewhere outside telephone cells. Yeah,
Yeah, so and that's another thing that I really enjoy, and especially something that I note in street photography are those little kind of contradictions or
yeah.
kind of not subliminal messages, but within this photograph, our little guy was blowing up his pool floaty, and then it says refill center on the sign there. And so I am always looking for those types of things to kind of again engage the viewer. Again, it's one of those details that's not immediately apparent, but something that may become apparent and give that much more meaning to the photograph once the viewer discovers it. So yeah.
That's beautiful, Robin. You also got are doing workshops.
Mhm.
So when I join a workshop, what would you say, or how do you say, okay, Agnes, let's go. Let's what will you look for?
Yeah. So my workshops are
Yeah,
largely based on teachings about my personal
yeah,
work. So it's more the creative work. And so that's what I'm instructing on. Is so being, as I mentioned, I'm a very much a location first photographer, and so talking about how to find a location and how to use that location to achieve your vision and use it, how what needs to be added to the location to really make things pop and make the story kind of come alive and that type of thing. So yeah, that's my current workshop is about that, which is great.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a participative workshop, which is wonderful. I get to know the participants throughout the 4 weeks that we work together,
yeah.
and yeah, so it's good.
It's
Yeah.
good. And you're talking, finding places, spots like this one. You see,
Hmm.
this is also, I felt in love with this because
Thank
not just the frame is amazing, but also everyone is doing something somewhere else, something else. And there's motion and there's still the Robin Fox aspect, which always when I see your image, I know it's from you. It's very, very, this is something really special, I have to say. I recognize your work and this is amazing.
Thank you. That means so much. That
Yeah,
photograph is actually taken in the same location as the one with the tennis ball. So
yeah,
yeah, so they're all the same location. And the one that you had showed with the tennis racket was using one of the windows at that location. So that's
yeah.
like I said, yeah, all of those are
The
from the,
tennis.
so it's nice to when you can just find small little segments of the same location to use that makes the frame feel brand new and fresh. So it doesn't feel like a replication of a previous frame. And so that's another thing that I talk about in the workshop is just how to structure things so that they always feel new and fresh and unique
Yeah,
and not as if a replication of a previous image.
of the previous. do you also like do you travel, and when you travel do you go with your camera also searching for places and also for different spots probably?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so being a location first photographer, that I'm most inspired by location, things can feel a little bit stagnant and I get a little bit stuck if I am not able to go somewhere
yeah,
different. Age of life, we don't travel a ton right now because we have young children, but when we do, I always have my camera in hands because it's so nice to see things from a fresh perspective, a fresh new place. And so we were recently actually in the United States, and so I was able to do that there, which was really wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's so inspiring and exciting to be able to have somewhere new to photograph. Fortunately, we live close to many different urban centers, and so I can, generally speaking, find new places that I've never seen before just if I go and drive somewhere, and that keeps me kind of excited
Kind of
about,
excited, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but travel, my husband and I really aspire to travel once our children are a little bit older. So hopefully that will become a reality eventually.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Edmose, have a drop. Keep up with your good work. Looking forward to your next projects. Thank you. So yeah, we all are doing because I'm really, really curious what happens next. Also, this is amazing because you combine architecture
Thank
and
you.
it's a bus station, or?
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what
Yeah,
that is. I think that the sign says something about it being a bar on
yeah,
the main level, but the upper levels are actually residential.
yeah,
And I would like to go back because when I was there, there were a number of the tenants sitting on one of the fire escapes, and that would have made a really interesting photograph. I haven't yet kind of branched out to photographing people, subjects other than my own family, but I think that I definitely aspire to investigate or attempt more street photography related projects in the future. But this is working for me right now, but I definitely would like to try
yeah.
that.
I honestly, when I was thinking today, one day I have to visit you. I have relatives in Toronto. I have to. I said, please,
Yeah,
Robin, make an image of if I, yeah, I would
yeah.
try to be a good model, but like very in back. But it's amazing. I love your style. Actually, do you work with Lightroom or the retro style?
Um, Predominantly Lightroom. So
Yeah,
I images into Photoshop should there be any kind of gentle cleanup that I need to do. But all of the color grading is done in Lightroom. Any manipulation is done in Lightroom.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's 99% Lightroom.
Yeah, so Lightroom. But
Yeah.
also like I want to show, which is incredible because I also want to show one of the most beautiful portraits I find. It's so yeah, it's amazing. So you're also doing wonderful portraits with your family, not just um images on the street.
Thank you.
Um, how is the difference for you to go so close or do so intimate photography to the other?
My goodness, I haven't, that's quite an old photograph. I haven't
Yeah,
thought for a long time. So as I mentioned, when I first started, I didn't understand quite how to compose or control or the elements when there wasn't kind of only a small amount in my
yeah,
frame. And so as I continued on with my study of photography, I continued to back up and back up and back up. And it's been a very long time since I've done a portrait like that, but that I should revisit that because I do remember it being very satisfying, kind of having details of our children and kind of looking at that somewhat intimate details of our children to preserve those moments in time as well.
yeah. I know it's a long time ago. Sometimes we forget or we don't think about, but this is the whole
That's
journey, and this
great.
is made you like also this amazing image.
Thank
Very,
you.
very. This is the mystery I think you talked about in the aspect of yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Andreas. I want to say also Andreas. It's
Oh, hi.
yeah. Hi. The mystery aspect. How did you do? Was it from the outside, the shadow, or
Yes, so
yeah,
he was standing up to my right, the window here in our home, and that was actually photographed during the pandemic.
yeah,
And so there were a lot of isolation and loneliness. And so I think that's what I was trying to convey with that particular frame. But again, it was all natural light. The sun sets onto that side of our home, and so we can get some really interesting shadows and kind of a dynamic type of a feel when I photograph there. And again, incorporating all sorts of different elements in the frame is important to me that
Yeah.
share my grandparents. And so just little things like that are important to layer the frame with kind of meaning and symbolism, some of which would obviously not be known to the viewer, but that are important to me again in
In
documenting our family.
documenting, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I love this one. This is one of your newest
Oh,
images. I'm sorry, it's mirrored,
that's
but
okay. Thank you.
yeah. But this is also for us. When I think of America or Canada or the past, it's for me. It's also it's really the retro times. You can't find almost this here in Europe.
So this was
So
of so we this was when we traveled to Ohio.
yeah.
So we were sorry, that's our dog. We
Ah,
were
you've got.
he wanted to say
It's
hello.
not. It's not this dog. It's the
That's
other dog. Yeah.
So that was our recent trip to Ohio. So I had actually looked up, so we had mentioned Wes Anderson, and I had
Yeah.
looked up the accidentally Wes Anderson, and I was curious to know if there was any of the locations that were close by to where we were staying. And so that was one of them. And so we thought, why not just give it a try? And so it's a chocolate shop.
Yeah.
And so we went there and sampled the chocolate and took a photo. So it's kind of a neat memory of our time in Ohio.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it reminds me, this is why I talk about Wes Anderson, but also different cinematographers which have the cinematic aspect, which is really, really strong in your photography. And Q6 Mom said, Robin's work always inspires me with all the layers that makes my eyes travel around the frame. And of course, the colors, which are pleasing and identifying of the work. And yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. But yeah, this is really. I love your dog actually. This is we have last week I have Anne and the dog jumped into the live. Fantastic. It was yeah.
Yeah,
So also it's this is so cool with the
thank you.
popcorn.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. Again, that's a local we I learned of that spot because it's a local baseball diamond that I'd
Yeah.
never been to. So again, we traveled to all these places with our children and it caught my attention and so I returned with my camera on a weeknight and yeah. So I don't know, it's really interesting just kind of seeing the world, just going about your day-to-day life and documenting kind of mundane locations and mundane places and mundane moments, but trying to make them somewhat intriguing. And that's kind of the goal of my work a lot of the time.
Is it like your children? Do you have the idea to put her like this, or is it her inspiration
That's me.
to create the image?
That's
Yeah.
me in the frame. So yeah, so I
That's
don't know,
you.
that's
It's just
me. Yeah, the self-portrait.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, it just kind of came about. A lot of the time when I'm photographing, it's just kind of the children are wonderful because they're just constantly moving anyways. But when I'm
Yeah.
photographing myself, it's a little more challenging. I can't necessarily see the feedback immediately as to what things look like. And so I had started with sitting in the announcer's booth and I didn't like that and just kind of kept moving around until I thought, this is all right, I'll give it
So
a try. That's
this
how it
is
became.
incredible. So you make the camera in front, then you run, and then you lay, and then it's yeah. So you must and
My I told my daughter was with me at the time and she
yeah,
was quite she said this is embarrassing. I have no idea what you're doing, but it worked out
yeah.
okay.
It's
So
cool. It's really
thank
cool. Yeah,
you.
because yeah, it's yeah, it's really cool.
Thank
I've
you.
got also wait yeah, I found some. This is actually I think also you and your
That's
husband. Big
correct.
hugs anyway to all your family for being part of the life also.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's also the same principle. You made it with yeah, the self yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so I just kind of lug my tripod around wherever I go, and a lot of times we'll set a timer and just kind of see how it goes, and then if it works out great, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. But yeah, this is a parking garage that's downtown, so it's again close to our home, and once again, it's been such a wonderful spot with all the shapes and colors and textures, and so I've had a myriad of photographs that have come from that spot, so it's been really interesting, and that parking garage is close to where I grew up as a child.
yeah,
And so again, it's mixing those different experiences from different eras in my life and different decades in my life. So I frequented that garage picking my father up from work when we were young and we would go to the market downtown. And so when I come back as an adult, there are a lot of feelings wrapped up into it. And then to incorporate it in my work is especially meaningful. So
yeah.
bringing children there is nice. And then we visit the market now with them. And so, it, I don't know, it's a neat way to document again
To
my
document, yeah, your feeling. This is what you say, to document your feelings to the to the image and not the, yeah, probably the place, but you combine it with a certain feeling. Actually, I also, this is
Oh,
a beautiful one,
thank you. Thank you.
Wendy.
Yeah. Again, so that one I was particularly drawn to the red. I
Yeah,
love to incorporate red because it's such a powerful color, symbolically and then also visually. And so having young children, we spend a lot of time at drive-throughs and fast food places. And so I thought, why not? And so, yeah, that's how that came about. And they, again, so we had a great time when we were doing it. They were rewarded with some fast food afterwards. So it was worth their time. They enjoyed it. So,
this,
yeah.
this is so cool. Actually, I also was looking for something. I found also some images without your family.
Yes.
This is actually Robin's Pew Street, and it's also, it's amazing.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's a wonderful moment.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, I was traveling. I was doing commercial work in New York.
yeah,
So I love New York because in and of itself, just it's so cinematic and it's so
yeah.
epic and everyone knows New York. And so I thought I would give a few street images a try. They're not great, but again, it documented my time there. And as I mentioned, I would love to spend more time on the street and try to capture some street images, as I progress in my photography study as well.
Yeah, also here I got one.
Thank you.
Also really, really cool. And I felt in love
Oh,
actually with this one. It looks like a garden house.
yes. So that's our local university has a large greenhouse
Yeah,
for, I guess, their botany studies, I suppose. And so I've always been quite enamored with it because I love the mixture of the steel, which is kind of almost sterile feeling and harsh, and then the greenery is so soft and warm and lovely. And so that's actually a reflection of our daughter on the greenhouse window because of the way that the light shines onto it. And so, yeah, thank you. I
thank
really like that. Well, I haven't thought about it for a long time.
yeah, yeah. So it's sometimes some memories. Ah, I've got also one here. It's inside, probably. I'm not sure. What did you do during Corona times, actually, Robin? You had, this is probably, I thought about this. This probably is a concept which really works because it was your family. You had some ideas, you have time together. So it was different than probably for somebody who's going out, try to shoot.
Absolutely. Yes, like I mentioned, I'm so fortunate to have so many people to work with,
Yeah,
so many different interests and things that they do. And so, more often than not, as I mentioned, so our daughter, she's older now, she will spend time on the computer. And that was just, I just noticed the way that the computer was illuminating her
the
face. And
light.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting. Let's try to document it.
yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that was also during quarantine times in
Quarantine
and around there
times where,
was,
yeah,
was
yeah.
oh,
So these are like really heroes, really cinematic heroes. Your boys are, this could be out of a movie, actually.
thank you. And again, I love again that incorporates in the back at how it says Canadian Tire, and that's a store that's prominent in our country. And
Yeah,
so, and again, going there a lot with my dad when he'd be doing projects around the house. And so, any time that I can incorporate little aspects of Canadiana in my frames, then I am so thrilled to do so because again, it adds to that sense of place in the story within the frame.
yeah. I have also, wait, Robin, this was also with mirroring, which I deeply also felt in love with.
Thank that was
It's a store, or is it, yeah, it's an animal store? No, pet.
yeah, it's an antique shop actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a really fun antique. It's an antique mall market they call it, and so the children love to go there just to kind of look around. And there's all sorts of trinkets and gadgets. And I did like the way that I could incorporate reflection there, just because it added so much depth to the frame and just the way that he was kind of looking back toward himself in the reflection. I thought was somewhat compelling. So that was an interesting one too.
and actually, if you have an idea to shoot somewhere like in the shop, do you go and ask first of all? Like, I'm Robin Fox, I'm a photographer. Probably, may I make a photo here with my family?
Um, 50-50.
50, yeah,
So Yeah, the photograph that was the first one that I think you showed with our daughter in the convenience store,
Yeah,
that one I asked because it was very small. There were people, there were patrons coming in and out of the shop. And
this
so
one
I did ask
actually.
that one, yes.
Yeah,
And the proprietor was lovely and he said, no problem. Some other places, again, I try to work really fast. And so I just kind of, we just take the photograph and move on. I got into a little bit of trouble in a laundromat the other day. There were no signs that said no, not trouble, but there were no signs that said no photographs. But I was taking some photographs and didn't know that you weren't allowed to. There was no staff in there to ask. So it's just,
yeah,
it's just,
yeah. I know. Sometimes it's probably this one, but another. I just want to show you laundry. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that was a laundromat. I didn't know we weren't allowed to. So we moved on. It was fine. But yeah, it depends. If there's someone available that I can ask for permission, then I will for sure. But and then more often than not, public photographs are outdoors. I don't. Well, there was the example of the antique mall and then the laundromat, but more often than not, we're
yeah.
outdoors. So it's
But did something happen to you? Like in this one, somebody saw the image and said, "Oh, it's so cool. It was my shop. It was Robin.
no.
Come back." Or no? Yeah,
Oh, I wish because that's one of my favorite spots, but I don't know that I can go back because they said you're not allowed to take photographs and stuff.
yeah,
But I love that spot. There was once where I did a photograph that incorporated a motorbike, and
yeah,
the motorbike messaged me to say, "That's my bike. That's wild." And so sometimes it will happen, but not too often. I guess the places are ambiguous enough that people can't necessarily identify them. So
yeah. Because somebody is on a road trip to visit all the places from Robin Claire Fox where she was shooting. Because this actually really interests me a lot. I have to say,
thank you.
it's so unique,
Thank
and I wanted to show
you.
your amazing family
Thank
actually
you.
to to our viewers. Jerseyville, is it in front of your house or is it somewhere?
No, so that's actually so this was our Christmas card for 1 year and then
Yeah,
but it is a historical village. So it's actually a what do you call it? It's a pioneer village, I suppose, from pioneer times that they have kind of brought all together so that people can go and wander the village as kind of it's a conservation area and you can go and look at all of the different historical buildings. And so
yeah,
that's a favorite spot of mine as well because it's has that again that vintage kind of quality to it. And Jerseyville is there's a town of Jerseyville that's close by and close by to where we live. And so that's why it says Jerseyville.
yeah. And actually, Robin, this one. This is one of my, I showed it at the beginning, one of the most amazing images. How did it happen? Did you stage it, or how did you say, move, just sit, just you can move, you can run, you can sit. How did you arrange
Sure. So
this image?
yes, that's another favorite location of mine. So I, just as a side note, it's an old cotton factory. So it's called the
Yeah,
factory and it's been around for centuries and it's been repurposed as a creative space for all sorts of different artisans. And so I've done some commercial projects there and that's why I was introduced to the spot. And so I use it often now. And with respect to structuring the frame, a lot of time I do treat it as if it is a film set almost. And
yeah,
so the children given an action to do and a spot to be in. And I find that when they are given a movement, they are so invested and they are very engaged in the photograph. And so for this particular image, I just said to our youngest guy, please climb the fence, and our other son, throw the ball. They were given those directions to do, and it worked out well, which I
yeah.
was grateful for. Yeah.
So probably one day, I don't know what your children are doing. Probably they are in the movie industry, or we go there, or commercial, or
I don't know.
so they have a talent for all these things. So yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. And are they interested in photography by themselves when they see like, oh, my mom is doing, I want to do too. I love it. I like it. I start photography too.
I'm not sure. So our
Yeah,
son, that photograph, he actually is quite into visual arts as well. He likes to draw and sketch, which I think is awesome. And so he's really generous with his time. It's almost as if he understands how enjoyable the creative process is for me, and he's extra supportive of that,
yeah,
which is I can't see that any of them are interested in photography specifically. I think that they are very exposed to it and that might kind of have the opposite effect that they don't really want anything to do with it. But absolutely, if they had any interest in any sort of the arts or visual arts, I would love that. I would
love
love to.
that. Yeah.
Uh,
Wait, it is in there. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
This is something I don't know. How did you do with a mirror? This is so cool.
Yeah, thank you. So that was part of a collaborative project.
Yeah.
For a period of time, I did a collaborative project where we would have prompts and we would, I think it was bi-weekly, we would create photographs to support a certain prompt. And I can't remember what the prompt or the quote was for that. But again, that was during the time of the pandemic
Yeah.
where we were all feeling deflated and kind of just sad and dejected. And so that was what that was, just kind of reading the headlines every day and thinking, how are we going to get
How
through this?
can it? Yeah.
And so that was what that image was attempting to convey or portray.
Yeah. But this is really cool with the mirroring as in your it's like a continuity when you look through your images, also the aspect of the bubble gums, which
Thank you.
honestly I really love the yellow, but you've got also blue bubble gums. So if you look in your if you're on your account, there are a lot of bubble gums images too. So cool.
Thank you. And again, that's another way that I get buy-in with the children is
Yeah.
that chew gum and blow bubbles. And it's also somewhat inspired by Wes
Yeah.
Anderson, as you mentioned. Big fan of his work. And there was, I think it was The Life Aquatic. There were a couple scenes in which there was bubble gum.
Yeah.
And I really,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. This is so cool.
thank you.
Actually, you sent it me also
Yeah.
this image in black and white with a shadow.
So that is the photograph with the silhouette of our sun outside the window. So that's
Yeah.
just the exterior of that window. And as I mentioned, I love that spot because of the way that the sun sets onto it and we can get some really interesting shadows and just it creates a lot of depth. And I really appreciate that little nook of our home.
Yeah. This is also again a laundry room,
Yes.
but probably it's a different one, or is it the same one?
It is the
Yeah.
same one.
Okay.
Yes. So we were able to I was able to do one
Yeah.
session there before no one said anything. So I thought it was okay. And then the second time I went, they said you're not allowed. So, but that was again, I do like to try to capture self-portraits again to document myself as I'm going through this journey with our family as well. And so, I spent a lot of time doing laundry as a mom of four. And
Yeah.
so that was that's somewhat important to document, but also again then moving back decades, it was reminiscent of my time when I was in university, when we would go to the laundromat and when we were first married we would use the laundromat. So
Yeah.
I like the way that photographs can kind of tie in all sorts of different experiences and different time periods in one frame. I think that's really interesting. So
This is really cool, and I realized the aspect of the vegan here in another one.
yeah.
So I love to look through and to find also matching images, which are totally different places. But I see,
Yes.
Robin's idea was behind this to put something which is really interesting into the frame.
Thank you.
Also, a subject. Yeah.
Thank you.
Was it also in the tennis court? No, it's somewhere else.
Yeah, that's just a bus stop close to our
Yeah.
home. And yeah, again, it was just I felt the need to take a photograph that day, and so we just kind of went out for a drive and we did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah.
This is really
Thank-
cool. I really so creative, and now something which really touched me deeply. I think it's you and your husband, but I love the mirroring of you two. I don't know where it is, and how did you see this?
For
There
sure.
is a yeah,
Yeah, so that was photographed. The camera was in our
yeah,
bathroom, in the shower stall, so the shower is glass. And so I still actually can't even quite understand how, but it does create a really beautiful reflection on the shower door. So the shower door was open. And for that image, I also did use some off-camera
yeah,
flash because it didn't have a lot of ambient light. And so it created that really interesting reflection, which I love because, yeah, it adds so much depth into the frame and just that soft kind of echo of us standing there in the foreground, I thought was very interesting.
yeah, magical, really. And your husband also said, Robin, it's for me, it's fine. You can make images. I'm with you.
He's a
Or is he sometimes, okay, no, not now. I'm not, no, not, yeah,
Yeah, he's so supportive, and I wouldn't have
yeah,
been able this without him, but he doesn't love having his photograph taken when we're in public. He doesn't like anyone watching him have his photograph taken. So we used to take photographs together much more frequently, but now I think we limit it to times when we're at home or where there's
Yeah,
else around because it causes him a little bit of stress.
yeah,
So yeah, but he's
yeah.
very
But tell him it's a wonderful frame. So tell him if he's not coming anymore back, probably once a year or twice, just to see him and to make some amazing nostalgic movie with you. Movie, I say, yeah. It's for me, it's so cinematic. I have to say, Robin, really,
thank you.
some amazing images. Is it yours? Do you have a caravan?
I wish. This is a friend
Yeah,
of ours who are so lovely. They are, again, very generous with their space. They own a flower farm and, well, they have a working farm on which they grow flowers. And my husband actually spends time working there in the summers. And so oftentimes we'll come and see the animals and do that type of stuff. And they have that beautiful Airstream trailer, and it's so wonderful for photographs. And so, yeah, usually a couple times of a summer we will go there and do some photographs as well.
into photographs. Yeah, cool. Robin, your next project. What is the vision for the future? Because kids are growing. Kids are probably one day. Okay, you will be grandmother probably one day, so you have the next generation
That's right.
of loving Clef Fox images. But what's the next plans for the future?
Sure. To be honest, I am working on trying to get some work exhibited. It is my
Yeah,
dream to have an exhibition somewhere. And so that's kind of where my energy is going right now. And then just continuing to, again, I think I mentioned earlier, just continuing to learn and to do whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm not really great with planning, and so it's kind of things
yeah,
organically, and then I just kind of tackle it as it comes. So continuing to photograph our family is really all I'm kind of thinking about in the near future. And then we'll see kind of where things go from there. Not a
yeah.
very good
This
answer,
is
sorry, but
no, no,
I don't know.
no. It's the best answer because what I love at the aspects nobody knows. It's like
Yeah,
I would say the same answer if you ask me. I don't know. I'm open to everything what happens. Probably our ways will look totally different one day. We will never think about, and one door opens, and it's totally different style or totally different approaches to photography. This is the magic of our job, of our creativity, because you never know, and we all stay. It's I, I would describe it. I stay open for everything,
yeah.
not
Yes.
close. Yeah,
That's right. I'm the
I wished I
same.
could do images like you,
Oh no,
but
you're doing
it would not work with my family, definitely.
your oh,
But it's incredible. So really, I adore it because it's also like an painting, like Edward Hoffer painting. So it's you have a lot of aspects, cinematic aspects, the creativity, visual. Really work with pattern. It's incredible style, Robin.
thank,
So I wish and see even more of your amazing work.
thank you so much. Your kind words mean the world to me.
And I invite you to Munich deeply, 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 because probably with the traditional costumes here and of your amazing looking children, which are so cool, it would be an amazing constellation probably to come and to go to places which are so strange and so different. Canadians which come to strange places in the world. So I deeply invite you and your family
Oh,
also.
we would love it. We would love to do that someday. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and Robin, please join our contest. It's amazing. It will be amazing to see your street images also, and we always keep in touch.
Yes,
It was such
absolutely.
a pleasure having you. Big fan of your work, and yeah, deeply, deeply thank you.
And
And yeah, amazing, Robin.
thank
Have an
you.
amazing time, and see you one day, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Greetings to your family, your dog, and big hugs from Munich.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Bye.